guys, M50 here, coming to you with not the 350R, not the Super Hornet, but the M50. And all three of these ships belong to the same guy right now, and holy crap, I have never had the M50 have a chance in my hangar. That thing is tiny. Tiny, 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 tiny. It's just a cockpit with some wings and an engine strapped on. It is nothing else. Which, you know, actually makes some sense. I mean, one, it's supposed to be a hyper-fast racer, and two, its military role is as an interceptor. So you gonna want something that's both fast and small, so that you have all that maneuverability, acceleration, and the simply hard-to-hitness. This thing can fly through areas that larger ships can't, and has to be a complete and total pain to try to hit. I rarely run into them in dogfighting, though, probably because people don't like their limited weapon set. They default to only a pair of bearing M3A laser cannons and 2 marksman missiles, so they're not very powerful at all in terms of raw firepower. But, well, they do have that top speed of, well, actually, the top speed got knocked down. It's now 280 instead of the original 300 meters per second, but I think all ships actually saw a speed nerf a little bit, and it's still pretty freaking fast. And so you're just gonna have to use that speed to get what firepower you can carry where you want it to go. Now, as far as that speed and maneuverability, comparing this to the Omega and Gamma, as well as the 350R, here's what I found. This thing has the top speed over the Gamma and Omega, but not over the 350R. 350R is still the fastest ship. However, this ship has a tighter maneuverability and finer control than the other two. Or 3, I guess. However, it is just a hair slower on the acceleration out of a turn than the Gamma and Omega, and the 350R is noticeably slower than this and the Mustangs. So while this has a better top speed and a much faster turn rate and maneuverability, it does not maintain its 280 quite as well as the Gamma and the Omega, though that doesn't mean a whole lot since it still has insane acceleration. You are barely going to be needing to use the boost, but unlike the Omega and the Gamma, you are going to need to tap it just a little bit if you're in a real hurry. Now, as I said before, it's got the armament of 2 size 1 cannons and 2 size 1 missiles. The default is the bearings and the marksmans. Now, personally, I would probably stick a pair of bulldogs on this instead, just because it has the speed to get in close, as well as its speed and maneuverability with my poor piloting skills. Yeah, I'm gonna need to have some help hitting the targets. I am fine with the missiles as they are. I mean, the customization level for missiles means that you can easily deal with the lack of multiple salvos with just, say, cluster missiles or something. I'm fine with just something I can throw at a target that annoys me. But one thing you are going to note is, much like the other racers, the Gamma that I've done, and almost to the same degree as the 350R, this thing is still pretty freaking fragile. I mean, you saw how tiny it was. It doesn't have room for a heavy reinforced arm frame, not arm frame, chassis frame. And that's not the right word either, but I can't think of what it is right now. No, just frame in general. It does not have room for a massive frame. It does not have the ability to carry a lot of armor if you want to keep that kind of armored frame. That's what I was looking for. In order to keep that maneuverability and speed. You could probably do a thing or two about the shields with the new shield modifications, but as far as the actual ship durability, it's a fast racer. It's an interceptor. The comparison I'm going to draw is to the A-Wing from Star Wars. You're relying very heavily on your speed and tiny little size to really be able to make that difference in a fight instead of any kind of ability to tank damage, which is perfectly fine, but something you have to keep an eye on. Now, like most of the other Origin ships, it has this big open bubble canopy that provides great visibility across the entire upper hemisphere and part of the lower hemisphere of your vision. So it's, of course, great demonstration of my flying skills as usual. But if you're doing better than I am, it's great to be able to actually be able to keep an eye on things without much of anything to obscure your view. So we're talking great visibility, which it needs. I didn't demonstrate it here a whole lot, unfortunately, but I began to more and more switch back and forth between this mode and mouse aim mode quickly in order to be able to have a quick look around in between targets to try to get a better idea of where I am on the battlefield and where the enemies are. And this ship is great for doing that if you're able to make the switches quickly, which unfortunately I'm not so great with. What I would really love to see is this paired with, and this ship definitely can make great use of it, either the Oculus Rift or one of these other VR based headsets, because with this great visibility combined with this ship's speed, you can really move around the battlefield and keep an eye on everything that's going on around you. Scout for hidden enemies, because I found that the Vandal swarms have started to hide, and that's always been something that some people do in multiplayer. So, and that's exactly what it's supposed to do as an interceptor, is serve as a first attack ship just to stall the enemy till the heavy fighters get there, and as a scout. And with this big bubble canopy, if you're competent enough, which isn't much, just better than me, to be able to switch to look around or just using a headset, like I said, holy crap, this thing can really, really shine. I mean, at one point, it wasn't very exciting, but at one point I was just doing laps around the battlefield, trying at top speed, using mouse look and the joystick to keep an eye on things. Wow, it really is great for watching what's going on, and just getting a great view. And I'm starting to go off on a tangent and off subject, I'm sorry. In general, I really like the M50. I'm gonna be sad when this is gone. But yeah, it might not be the biggest ship in the fleet, but wow, it really does shine. So yeah, this has been the M50. Just a quick heads up that I'm still looking for some stunt pilots for a set of videos that I have slated to come out, so please let me know if you're interested. And yeah, I hope you liked the video and found it helpful. If you did, please check out my channel, subscribe. Ways to help support the channel are in the description. And yeah, I will see you guys later. This is Nick60 signing off.